afternoon, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards with a new video for you today. This is another one that I got the idea out of the annual catalog on page 109. This right here. I just changed it up a little bit, and this is using the Forever Greenery suite of products. So this is the card that I made. And I just used two different stamp sets. I used Lovely You, which is, I used this one miles apart, but still in my heart. And then I used Butterfly Gala, You've Been on My Mind, because this is a dream catcher. And so that made me think of, because you have dreams in your mind, so the dream catcher made me think of that specific sentiment. What I've done to make things go faster is I've already done my dream catcher, and this is one of the hoops that's in the suite right here. And then I use some of the leaves and they are on page 152 in the catalog, right here. And you get 3 sheets of each of the laser cuts. So 3 of these and 3 with all of these on it. And I went ahead and die cut mine all out so they'd be easy for me to use, and put them in one of these cases. So they're all already cut out, ready to go when I'm ready to use one. I just found it easier to store it this way. And then I've already chopped up my paper, and I chopped my DSP, and I cut it up in 4 by 6 inch pieces and put it in one of these cases. And I saved the little piece from the cardboard that came with it. I just cut it out to fit inside here, so I would have all the colors and the names. And then I can reuse my case when I'm done using up my DSP. Not that that ever happens, but I try. So I've got this, and if you want me to show you how I made it, you need to leave me some comments, and I will do a separate video, because it takes a little bit of time to make one of these. So I use this thread that's part of the suite, the gold thread, and then I also use this ribbon right here, and I cut it in 7-inch strips, and I used about 1 yard and a few inches of this when I did this. And then I took 2 of the leaves from the die cuts, and I've got a little glue dot on here to glue them together, and I trimmed the end of this off, and then I tied a piece of that gold trim around it and frayed it. That's what I did here. So let's get started. Once you do all of these little pieces, then the card goes pretty fast. So I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I took a piece of Garden Green, and it's just a little bit smaller, so it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then this piece of DSP is 4 by 5 1/4, and I cut off 1 inch, because it was actually this is 3/4 of an inch. So I saved this because I'm going to put it on the bottom of this piece, and I already stamped this in. This is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8, and I've stamped it with the Garden Green. And then this is 3/8 of an inch wide, and I stamped it with Garden Green. And what I did here is I took the tailored tag punch and I put a little pencil dot where I wanted the point to be so that I could find it easily on here. And I just slid this in till I saw the little pencil point. Kind of put it right in the point of this, or as close as I could get it, and punched. Oops, moved. My hands aren't very strong. Let's try this again. There. I just did that. Turned it around. Let's see if I can do this with this hand. The older I get, the weaker my hands get. It's part of aging. So that's how I got my little banner here. And then I took a sponge and a pair of pizzazz. Don't want that on there. And I just put a little bit of ink right around the edges to make it stand out a little more. This doesn't take very much, just a little. Just like so. Okay. Set that aside, close this so I don't get it all over myself. Okay. I stored my little gold hoops in one of these little pizza boxes. I just put it in a Ziploc, a little tiny Ziploc, and put the label in here. I cut it down, and then I put them in here so that they would be easy for me to access and not get all over the place. So the first thing we're going to do is adhere these. I also have a piece of vellum. And this piece of vellum, I'll measure it for you, because I can't remember what it was. 4 1/4 by 3 inches. We're going to use that on the front. So we'll set these pieces aside. We'll glue this first. Yeah, once you get all those embellishments made, the rest of the card goes together really simple. But like I said, if you're interested in a video on how to do this dream catcher, just leave me some comments. If I get enough comments and interest, I will do that in a separate video and show you how I made that. I do some Indian beadwork and other kinds of beadwork, and this is, I got the instructions out of one of my bead magazines. It's a Native American beading, and that's where I got the instructions on how to make that. So we'll do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece, and like I said, it's 3/4 of an inch wide and it's a little bit long, so I don't want to put glue all the way to the end of it. And I'm just going to adhere this to the bottom of my cardstock, just like so. Get it flush. And then I'm going to cut the end off. I'll find my scissors. I have a small desk, so things tend to get buried here. Remember, you've got till the end of the month, end of June, June 30th, to, if you order $250 on my website, you get 10% Stampin Rewards, which is $25, and then a bonus of $25 from Stampin' Up. So you'll get $50 worth of Stampin' Rewards that you can get free product with that. Also, this is a good time to sign up as a demonstrator, and you can do that. Join my team, because for $99 you get $125 worth of product. And that's the normal price. Well, during the month of June until June 30th, you get to pick any bundle, which would be a stamp set and dies, or a stamp set and punch if it's a bundle, and you get that for free, and you get to pick any of them that you want, and there's no shipping charges on your demonstrator package. Okay, so that part's done. Now we're going to deal with this. Now what I did was I put this here, then I took little tiny glue dots, and you can use just the glue dots from your that are in Stampin' Up! Catalog. These are from a paper pumpkin leftovers, and I just put little behind each of these things here, just like so. And then I have to show you how I did the ribbon. But we're going to put these on here first. This will help glue this down. When I take the little covers off, I'm going to roll it so that it's the width of the ring, the hoop. And the reason I'm putting it right on top of the thread is because it helps hold it in place, and it just works better. Okay, now we're going to take these pieces of ribbon, and they're about 7 inches long. You can probably make them a little bit shorter. And I'm going to just kind of go like this with them. And then I want, having a few technical difficulties with my camera, so. Okay, I finally figured this out. You go like this, make a loop. And then you go in from the back, just like so. And you pull it up through like this. And I put 6 on there. You can put however many you want, but that's how many I did. So, like this. Go in from the back. Like that. Put through the loop. If your fingers will work. And then you pull. Just like so. Okay, 2 more. Sometimes these videos take longer than I like, but go in from the back. Now you don't have to do all the weaving like what I did on there. You can just use the loop and put these on there. Oops. If you can make it work. A little frustrating. Okay. Make your loop like so. We're going from the back. And then pull it through this loop. It's like so. This is pretty thin ribbon, So you can pull it pretty tight. One more. Put it down, flip it over. So it looks like that. Going from the back, like this. Pull it up. And then pull it through like so. You could probably put your glue dots on after you've done this part. However you want to do it. That's just how I did it. Just kind of hid this one, but that's okay. Okay. Now, you take your little glue covers off. And what you're going to want to do is make sure that you, if you can, kind of roll these up so that you can't see them on the edges, which is what I did. You can see what I'm doing. You can use your take your pick tool. I just happen to have this one handy. I just rolled them up like so, so that they're not hanging over the edge. I don't want them to show if at all possible and be sticky. So I just do that. Okay, then you can take some larger ones, what I did, and put behind a couple of these. This just helps hold it down. Just like so. Okay. And take those covers off. Make sure that they're not showing. Okay, I think that whole thing came off. Back there. There we go. Okay. And then I got this piece already put together. I'm going to lay this here where I want it, and then lay this down. Try and get it centered and even. I did this one a little different than the other one, but it's okay. So I want it centered side to side, as close as I can get. And then I need to leave enough room at the top to put my sentiment. So put that on there. Then I took this piece, and I have a little glue dot on there, and I just tucked it under one of these spots, and I'm going to tuck it right here. And this one I put over there, but this one I think this looks like there's a hole right here, so let's see if I can tuck it under there. I don't know if I can, because I think there's a glue dot there. Oh, looks like I might be able to. Just kind of, you don't want to tuck it too far, because you don't want this, I didn't want the stem showing. It's up to you. So I just kind of tucked it under there, and I turned this over, and I took some small glue dots and kind of put in just different places on the back of this where the ring is, because they're not going to show. At least I can't see them on this one over here. And this will hold your vellum on there. And then you can put a few down here if you want, because the ribbon will cover them up. You're not going to see them because the ribbon's there. So, however many you want to put on there, it's going to stay. Little sticky things. This is a little fussier than I like to do videos on, but I thought people might enjoy seeing something a little bit more complicated. I prefer doing simple cards, but this is fine. So then you just center this on here, just like so. And then you take your sentiment, and I used the mini Stampin' Dimensionals on here. Everything's sticking to me today. I must have glue on my fingers. And I put 4 on here so that it'd be sure and not sag in the middle, because it's pretty long. And we're almost done. If I can hang on to my stuff. There. And then I kind of centered it left to right, and then I put it kind of above where you can still see it's on the vellum and the DSP. And that's your card. I hope you like it. It's a pretty simple card, other than this fussiness, and you can pull these as tight as you want. On this one, I had this top part right here as the top of the card on the top, and on this one I had the blank, so you can see 2 different versions of it. And then the other thing you can do, which is what I did on this one, is I trimmed these ends at an angle because they were too long and I didn't want them straight, so I just trimmed them all. And they don't have to be even, just at an angle, which is what I did. Just like so. I trimmed these at an angle this direction. And then I turned it this way and trimmed these the opposite direction. This ribbon's almost like messing with gauze. It's kind of gauzy feeling. There. And you can put less on there if you think that's too many pieces of ribbon hanging down. That's just what I put on there. So there's your card for today. Please give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe. Go to my down arrow. It'll take you to my blog. And all the sizes and dimensions will be there if you didn't catch them all as I was saying them. And sign up for my newsletter. I send it out once a month and try to feature one of the products in the new catalog. And I tell you all about specials and things. So you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.